off the goalpost. Two penalty kicks taken by the Parliamentarians. They missed one, they scored one.
Yeah.
And the trotting that comes to pick the ball is a trot. Former captain of Accra Hearts of Oak. Yeah, Amankwa Mreku. Amankwa Mreku behind the ball. Well read by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper guessed well and dived towards the right direction. Meanwhile, just in front of the two teams, waiting to bring the players on the field. And that's a wild miss. And look at the reaction. He did not even get close to anywhere near the goalpost by the Parliamentarians. Completely off target. Well, they can afford a smile and a laugh. Well, I'm sure the officials and the fans are having a feel of what it takes to take penalty kicks. The pressure that is on you. Went in solidly, displaced the goalkeeper, but against the crossbar. And this of the net. The Parliamentarians are looking at leaving the University of Ghana Stadium covered in glory. Is the next kick by the judiciary? Goalkeeper stands alert and miles over. And these ladies can afford to be happy. They are not too happy among themselves. It is gradually slipping away from the Judiciary Service team.
Right from the selection, the way they play their kicks, they show the sign of a team who is ready to carry the day. And now, I'm not really surprised they've been able to win the penalty shootout.
Congratulations to the Parliamentary team. Democracy Cup 2025. They have announced their presence by beating their Judiciary Service team via the penalty shootout.
At first, I'm really surprised seeing some of the ex-players playing for the Parliamentarian team.
The Nido Obatampa promo is back again. Yes, here's your chance to win a
exercise from both sides, and they deserve to carry the day. They scored the first goal from Gordon Atram Platini. The ex-players came back through Amankwa Mreku. They were able to win on penalty shootout. Congratulations to both of them.
Indeed, congratulations to the two sides. They have entertained the crowd here in the 2025 Democracy Cup curtain raiser. We definitely will be seeing a lot more of them again. Thank you very much, but there's more to come, including the main
Okay, we see I'm a more aquaba, Namin San Somawajo. Aha, a born against sports. And the Ababi Dean Como at the Afas of Folk, the phobians, a home como, and I hear Baby D and so it would you made in so. Yanko Poya, the way Dutch and a democracy cap. Okay, we see I'm a more aquaba, Namin San Somawajo. Aha, a born against sports. And the Ababi Dean Como at the
sure that we repeat the same.
Be a moment town and over summer. Germany. Echi say in the team no, I already say I'm compete war this season for trophy BR or more ever competing so in the coach did in seminar ebim la eba na yatroso.
It's important to get players prepared for a very marathon year of so many matches, so many competitions, and so many events. And this is just one of the events. I think that we have planned in terms of the goals we set in the year that we are preparing so that we can compete for every trophy, and this is just one of them. The ones that have been won, is past and gone. We are just looking ahead in terms of what is just ahead of us, and so for me it's just one of our preparatory games, and I'm making sure that we present a very formidable team. We also present a team that is fully loaded with the best energy, because at this period you need to think about the energy depletions of your players so that you don't worn out players before the competition. We are very, very mindful of the loading of our players prior to the commencement of the league, and so it comes at the right time, and we are fully ready, and we are going to deliver. Come on the 5th, that is on Friday.
Itebusa wensu ne nsema coach Didi editu jana yemula mu e Great Olympics emla. Great Olympics yemula mu enso e ho na Great Olympic coach coach anything edi Sule Adamu na coach Sule Adamu na editu jase Nyankopon ya adme that na no 90 minutes and they decided for the game. 90 minutes and they decided for the game. Na obeme kisho say omo Great Olympics no ombenya good game. Coach Sule Adamu.
I think we are all in the preparatory section whereby we are in pre-season. Each and everyone is trying to prepare his teams towards the
yeah, this boy is in the building. Last zero, what I say? He say, "Who TV? I'm sure 1911." Yeah, this support is something that we did last year. What say we TV amateur 1911. Who say has stories are. Masa. Story here what has we are being. They say the play here by a friend. What has What do you say? Hey, any part of it. out of form the answer be ready to level kasa say from
see this here our Hanamo say give no and give the best shots here and Osha goalkeeper Solomon Agbesi. Yes, goalkeeper Solomon Agbesi. I'm sure say he will be the man in the goalpost today for Hasselhoff just because the absence of Benjamin Asari. Only said Benjamin Asari. Ekwa national duty yesterday on the goalpost with my Black Stars against Child. Ekwa City 1 goal, but in the performance yesterday was very superb. Yes, and right here the performance very superb and he we and then come out and also and the great Olympics and the great Olympics is here and the great Olympics NSF White, you know, they are in white and I can see the a branch in it at a year OPM live. Yes, great Olympics in white and give the big game a birthday. I mean, okay, give no big game a birthday. So be a shame, okay, great Olympics for normal your biache. Olympics for normal your biache. Great Olympics. One more your biache. Your biache. The great Olympics and a woman extra white, you know, and our PMA. Girls across the folk, as so I want to say. So looking at how Enyama is here, it's leads also say yes. Bibia come alive on Papa Ipa Media, making sure so over comment, over like, over subscribe, Eddie Amamina, also all updating in Yano, Obenyana Bibia. It's me, I come away a Democracy Cup. Yes, Democracy Cup 2025. Democracy Cup 2025. And I hope you so goalkeeper my branch in the Dine Shaibu and started Solomon Agbesi Anche Shaibu and started Jau Amampabe fi Kelvin Osesibe Ali Muhammad a branch in the Dine at a Ranford Mensa Abdul Karim Hussein Muhammad David Opan Frane and in David Opan Frane a captain team and UPMA coach Masu Didi Dramani at the captain bandiama David Opan Afrane Martin Kakari Enoch Isubonte the striker, the dangerous man, around the Dine Frank Tuku, and ability attack on Ediama and your glorious across the folk. Indeed, Solomon Agbesi and Chende. Now, I'm be reduced and there, around the bit to me about Solomon Agbesi and Che, and the one and to me and that go Pusmo, and Fama and your Upiema, Boo Quantity, and the glorious Accra House of Folk. And the I don't know, Mamisha Great Olympics for the year, one more. Ayo mu kiskoki ne kekeleke Olympics for omo mu kiskoki ne kekeleke kakra and the great Olympics omo no and I can see say womo and the young boys ya me adom on beje penia participate e we yi no na Olympics okay, so that's how it is live on Papa Media the 2020 OPMA 5 Democracy Cup and a Tudra Ewahanamo essay. So goalkeeper Shaibu Bupiema Sharif Jawa Mankwabe Fikevana Sesibi Ali Mohammed Ranford Eyemensa Abdul Karim Nation FC Omomed Fudan Onimone Papa Hussein Mohammed David Opanfrane Captain Martin Kakari and also Enoch Esubonte Frank Tukum Solomon Agbesi bench Godwin Eyekujo Amankwa Emmanuel Kwesi Eye Asma George Eye Pako Abrantin Din Eddie Henry Kweku Boateng or no Henry Kweku Boateng no Opioma Kumasi Kwada so Messi and not bench as also now Abrantin Din Eddie Mawuli Wayo Hamza Isa Prince Kobina Owusu at the bench. I'm sure say that Prince Kobina Owusu bet me have started Eddie Ama Eye glorious Accra House of Folk. So Opioma O Quantity at a Great Olympics and a woman a warm up and a cover Great Olympics and a warm up now one more so air said down Matamabiano Bibiaso Bear come in House of Folk as usual one more and a word the other side no the House of Fuka Sunday City one more and the pen side and I want to show the Osha Bonte now Osha the Euphoria Neha Wanyamesiakwa. Yes, we are wanting higher Yamaman for 2 tickets na almost so my baby remedy who if you now on join here join a kama yes who if you now join here join a kama we a UPM University of Ghana Legon Sports Stadium to be precise ticket no more yes almost ticket in the kama ticket no and one air tonity meaning team I'll support it with me I'll drop a comment with me or comment at the 2025 Democracy Cup Glorious Across the Foot Cup against OPM Bo quality at the Great Olympics. My message in that's to me say I can kind in here at the Ama betray your tomb the Amamo and now most of my enjoy the big gamer and also every boy band chapter wood and I want to say initial no was about the Ghana supporters union chapter position and the almost no almost a year heavy biasano able to me I come at University of Ghana Legon Sports Stadium as it stands now events in Nipano bank account Ocean Nipana or tickets no motor yes Ocean Nipano more tickets no and a woman airton and Kamazo almost 2 tickets now on making sure say almost swap him and the Yamino Friday and 2 the Friday I will be 2 for one shot was subit me so the atmosphere looking at how MSC come our University of Ghana Legon Sports Stadium from Choba now subscribe watch share the mama now after so at now almost and also and the area the Unimnas are so good morning. All right, so this is how it is, and looking at fans now, stadium in Shadam Bomaye, stadium in Bomaye, and the Sunday here, stadium in Bomaye, Sunnis here, the stadium name Bomane there, to lead also say, Ayabia war, and the stadium in Bomaye, stadium in Bomaye, but a big game a perfect, the Amian a big game a perfect, papa, give no, 6 o'clock p.m. Game on 6 o'clock p.m. It is 6 in the fans no be encoding come on crack and fans no encoding come on crack.
It's here to do the Lancet A because of the organization in our football. Wow. Since 2014, we've not done Lancet A in this country.
Wow. So if you look at him, he's a kind of coach that you find difficult to break his team down, and he loves to play expansive football. For Great Olympics, to go in, look around, and to try to bring him to the club speaks a lot about how they did their scouting on the coaching. You look at Eric Alagidi, the current CEO of the club. He knows Ghana football inside out. For him to bring Kosula Adamu to Great Olympics tell you that they know where they are and where they want to take the club to. For him, you can look at the kind of recruitment that they have done. And this evening, if you look at what he's trying to do, he's starting the game in a 3-5-2 formation. He has watched Accra Hearts of Oak in the Gaka Top 4 competition and realized that Hearts of Oak has some exciting players in central midfield. You can talk about Abdul Karim, you can talk about Raul Amponsa, Martin Kakari, George Panko, David Opon-Afrani, who is very versatile. He can play as a centre back, and he can play as a holding midfielder. He saw them against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, and he realized that Hearts of Oak won the game because of the transitions from central midfield into attacking channels. He has to stifle them in central midfield, limit them to playing short passing range, because if they have the pitch to themselves, they will exploit you and carve you open at premium. And for Adamu, his approach this evening speaks volume. For Kodidi Dramani, he will go into this game thinking, what kind of opposition will Olympics throw at him? Because they've not had the opportunity to scout Olympics play any competitive game like the way Olympics has done on them. So it will take him a little bit of time to be able to know exactly what to do. But he will come into the game feeling like we are the most informed team. We can play our normal game and push Olympics to come and play to our rhythm. And for him, continuity is key. He has the players, the big players, all the big guns are on display this evening. And he will send them out there to go and fight for all the 3 maximum points at stake to be able to win the cup.
There's a lot at stake for Accra Great Olympics and Accra Hearts of Oak anytime they have the opportunity to meet each other. There's first the bragging rights, and then of course who reigns supreme over the other when it comes to 90 minutes of action. Now going into this game and wary of the fact that Accra Great Olympics themselves are playing in the lower division, will you say that their pre-season has been less intense as compared to what Accra Hearts of Oak have gone through?
I think it's about when they started the preseason. In a football team, you need minimum of 6 weeks proper preseason. You start with the conditioning, you come to tactics and physicality, and you start to play, high-profile friendly games. So I can see Olympics are in their 5th preseason period, and I think they are preparing themselves for Division 1. When you look at Sula Adamu, he believes in the 3-back system, 3-5-2 formation, and is one of the tactical brains in the local scene, especially in Zone 3. When you look at that particular zone, I call it a Premier League nest. Because they have a lot of Premier League clubs there. They have teams who are ready to come into the Premier League. Last season, Port City was one of the best teams in Zone 3. Yeah. This particular season, True Democracy want to qualify. A team like Olympics want to qualify. Atom Dibisa, they were in the quarterfinal stage of the FA Cup. Golden Cakes, they were in the finals of the FA Cup. It's a team, Home Stars, they find themselves there. So, Accra Lions, they moved to Division 1, Zone 3. So, it's a form of a Premier League nest.
Accra Lions and Wafa has also joined Zone 3.
Also there. So, they are preparing themselves for the Premier League. And I see them as one of the favorites to qualify from that group. So, it's going to be a difficult game today at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about these statistics because, again, going into the game, it gives you a fair idea of what kind of leverage both teams will go into the game. Obviously, for Accra Hearts of Oak to maintain a certain level of status, if not raise it higher, they would want to go into this game, number one, first of all, as favorites, but also number two, to show their fans that they are just about getting ready for the Premiership. The Premiership is not going to be an easy one, and we know that the battle will be tough. Let's start off with Accra Hearts of Oak and take a look at what kind of season are we expecting based on the quality of the players they have and based on the preseason. What kind of expectations do we have? Maybe going into the first couple of games for the season.
Well, if you look at Accra Hearts of Oak, a club that is more than 100 years, they want to play in the Ghana Premier League and win the Ghana Premier League every single season. Hearts and Kotoko will always love to go out there and win the matches and win the big trophies, which is the MTN FA Cup, the Ghana Premier League and the Super Cup every season for their fans. And you don't force the fans or whatever they demand from the players. And the players themselves know that if you are going to play for Hearts of Oak, then you have to be the caliber of players that should be playing in the big games and winning the big games. You have to boss the Ghana Premier League. That's how come they've gone for Kodidi Dramani, a proven winner in the Ghana Premier League. So for Hearts of Oak, they would love to bounce back. Ever since Samuel Boadu won the Ghana Premier League for them, they've been punching below their weight. This season, the mood and the mentality around the club tells you everything about this team going into the major season. They want to win the Ghana Premier League in the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League. And if you look at the kind of signings they've done, it will tell you that they are really in for a fight. They don't want to play a second fiddle or third fiddle or fourth fiddle to any team in the Ghana Premier League. If you look at even their starting 11 in this game, you could tell that they are fired out for this one. Yaman Kwabefi, Kevin Osiasibe, Muhammad Ali, and Ransford Mensah. The only changes, the only substitution that you see there at the back line is the absence of the goalkeeper and the captain of the team, Benjamin Asari, who is currently with the Black Stars. In midfield, you look at Abdul Karim starts, David Opoafrani starts as well, Enoch Esubontin, as well as Martin Kakari. This is the same midfielder he played against Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last match of the Gaka Top 4. And up front, Frank Duku partner Hussein Mohammed. Hamza Issa will start from the bench this evening. So this is one of the strongest starting 11 that you can see from Kodidi Dramani. Barring injuries to Baba Adamu, the golden kick centre back, he would have been playing this evening. But he only resumed training on Wednesday. So they are just being cautious with him. That's why they are not involving him in this game. So if you look at them, you can tell that continuity is key for the Phobians.
I see. Okay. Now let's look at Accra Great Olympics again briefly. There's a lot of content or intent in terms of those who want to qualify from Division 3, that zone that Accra Great Olympics find themselves, into the Premiership. How smooth or difficult will this be?
The way they fare against Hato Folk will give a sign of how Olympics team will fare in Zone 3. So I'm sure Adamu would like to throw his best men on the field to play Hato Folk. When we're able to manage this game and get at least a win or a draw against Hato Folk, it gives the supporters hope that Olympics are on the verge of qualifying to the Premier League. They will prepare themselves well for the Premier League. So the game they play against Hato Folk today is crucial in their quest to qualify for the Premier League.
Okay, teams have just about wrapped up with their warm-ups and they've been invited back into the dressing room, which means that any moment from now they will be coming onto the field and they will be welcomed by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, who's also here present to observe the Democracy Cup. But again, if the season is going to be tough for Accra Great Olympics and it's going to be even tougher for Accra Hearts of Oak, for competitions like the Gaka Top 4, the Democracy Cup, etc., etc., will it put these two teams in some form of high-level preparation and high-level intent as they attack their various leagues?
Yeah, sure. You know, this is a high-profile cup match, and the winner of this particular match will be playing against a team from the United States in the United States of America.
Okay.
So the added incentive is huge. The president of the country is here. All the big men from the parliament, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, Honorable Alban Bag, all of them are here. And it presents the players the opportunity to be able to market themselves to their fans. And for the coaches, it presents them an ample opportunity to be able to outdo exactly whatever they've been doing in the past 2 weeks again on the training pitches. For Great Olympics, it will inform their fans the sort of season they should anticipate ahead of the 2025-2026 season. Because for them to test their might against Accra Hearts of Folk speaks volume. And it tells you they were not just picked by fluke, they were picked based on merit. And Olympics always believe that, be it in any competition, they'll be able to give Hearts of Folk a tough game. And this evening, they are really, really motivated to step out onto this pitch here and give everybody around the world watching this game a proper game to enjoy.
All right, we'll be joining the action shortly. We are just about being given signals from security setup and the organizers that the first gentleman of the land will be joining us shortly. First 45 minutes, what will be your take? First 45.
Well, I expect to see free-flowing attacking football. Both teams will have a go at each other. You know, the Division 1 teams love to run a lot, and Coach Adamu's team are always drilled. They don't play it low block. They always play expansive football. So they'll take the game to us. They'll play in their face. They'll run at them. The last time we watched a Division 1 team play against a Premier League team here was in the MTN FA Cup final, where Golden Kicks gave Kumasi Asante Kotoko a very tough game. And for Great Olympics, we expect them to play in the same rich vein of form.
Okay. Nanedu, first 45 minutes, what are your expectations?
A slim win for Great Olympics. I see Olympics leading by 1-0 in the first 45 minutes. I've monitored their training. When you look at their setup and the system that Coach Adamu plays, it will be difficult for Hearts of Oak to score more goals in today's game. So I see a first half 1-0 win for Great Olympics?
Well, my pundits have said it clearly. It's going to be a keenly contested game. A probably 1-0 slim advantage for Accra Great Olympics is what Nana Edu sees. But for those who have witnessed both Accra Hearts of Oak and Accra Great Olympics at training, you have a fair idea of what these two teams are made of. The fans of Accra Great Olympics believe that they are content with what they have seen from the technical bench and the training and the players at training. So says the fans of Accra Hearts of Oak. Now is the time to separate the two from each other. For Accra Great Olympics, they always feel that it's an easy game when they play against Accra Hearts of Oak. Accra Hearts of Oak, like Blackgate said from the beginning, have really suffered to beat Accra Great Olympics. But the big question is, with the Democracy Cup at stake, which of these two sides will start as favorites? Will it be the famous red, yellow, blue colors of Accra Hearts of Oak, or it will be the predominant white and blue colors of Accra Great Olympics? First 45 minutes will be a very tough game, a very cagey encounter indeed, but we are looking at a positive performance from these two sides. And of course, at the end of it all, we will come back here and wrap up by asking the general questions. How did the performance go? Good luck to Accra Hearts of Oak. Good luck to Accra Great Olympics. Thank you very much for joining us. Commentary will be standing by to run you through the rest of the proceedings, and we will come your way again at the end of presentations. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the University of Ghana Stadium here in Accra. It's the 2025 Democracy Cup between Hearts of Oak and Great Olympics. The game was played last season, and it was a maiden edition between the Phobians and their rivals Asante Kotoko. Kotoko went on to win that game and eventually went to play in the United States of America in that game, which ensured that at least Ghana's representation was really felt in the United States. We are back again for the second edition of the Democracy Cup under the auspices of the Speaker of Parliament of Ghana, and this game is expected to strengthen Ghana's democratic credentials with a beautiful sport of football. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse, together with Josiah Okokwe. We are your commentators for this evening's fixture here in Legon. These two teams will not only be battling for the glittering trophy at stake, but they would also be battling it out for the bragging rights. The Phobians say they are the landlords. Olympics claim they only rented out the land to the Phobians, and the Phobians can be termed as land guards. So today, we see who really owns the city in the Manchester Derby. You can also call this game the Gamashi Derby. It's Olympics and Hearts of Oak squaring it off here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. A lot of big dignitaries are in attendance this evening here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, including His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and the Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Alban Sumana. It tells you the importance of the two have attached to this game, leading to bring onto the pitch the trophy for the 2025 Democracy Cup are two former national players, Yao Amakwamreku, a former captain of Hearts of Oak, and John Al-Hassan, a former captain of Great Olympics. Interesting scenes here.
John Al-Hassan won the Africa Cup of Nations trophy in 1978 and 1982. Also, Amakwamreku is the man who won the
George Al-Hassan was part of the Black Stars team that won the last AFCON that Ghana won in 1982, and Amakwa Miriku was also part of the famous Hearts of Oak team that drew goalless with Nigeria in the build-up to the 2002 FIFA World Cup in Japan and Korea. He went on to play in the African Cup of Nations in Mali in 2002. So the both have paid their dues to national team football.
Yeah, and I believe that's just the best way to renew, old rivalry. At least some of these players playing for either Hearts or Great Olympics will really understand the significance, of the rivalry between these two city neighbors. And then also today at stake, that glittering, beautiful trophy.
Beautiful atmosphere here at the University of Ghana Stadium. All is set, but before the game kicks off, the official pre-match formalities, we see the speaker stepping onto the pitch alongside His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, and possibly a ceremonial kickoff before the real deal comes up.
Definitely, it wouldn't really, feel like the Democracy Cup without that iconic speech from the Speaker of Parliament. There's been a series of presses already, even before the kickoff, and it really tells what this game means, to every single Ghanaian, and especially, the Speaker, the custodian, of democracy in this country.
This coverage is live on Max TV, and we're live from the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. It's also live on Star Times at the channel 247. Protocols have been duly observed because of the personalities who have popped up here at the University of Ghana Stadium. The security are leaving nothing to chance, and the organizers are doing everything possible to ensure everything is well in place for the game.
I don't think the guard will be lowered this evening as far as security is concerned. Nana Dankwa JC, you're looking at the top personalities, we are looking at the lawmakers, we are looking at the judiciary, we are looking at the executive, arm of government, and every single rep from every single branch of government is here today. So definitely, security would be at its maximum best.
These days, Olympics are playing in the Division 1 League. They play in Zone 3. Their main focus is to regain entry into the Ghanaian top flight, and for their more illustrious neighbors, Hearts of Oak, they are hoping to win the Premier League for the first time in about 4 seasons. They've brought on board Masoud Didi Dramani as the new coach, and Olympics have also brought on board Sule Adamu, and they've tasked him to ensure the team regain their Premier League status.
Apparently, I've heard a couple of people saying because Olympics are playing in Division 1, then that might make this game, any less of that competitive game we would be expecting. But tell you what, Nana, I just believe Great Olympics would put aside the fact that they are playing in the Division 1 Zone 3. They would really be going boot for boot with this Hearts of Oak team. And whenever they meet, you know how feisty it is. You know how hostile it gets between these two sides. I expect a very tough game between these two teams.
Waiting for the arrival of his co-parliament, the Honorable Albin Kingsford, Sumana, Bargain, big personalities gracing the 2025 Democracy Cup.
It doesn't get better than this to have the president of the land gracing this particular one. And tell you what, I was there last year for the first edition, but then this is just an upgrade of whatever we saw last year. To have the president here and then also the Speaker of Parliament is just massive.
And CEO of the headline sponsor, Mr. Alex Apau Zadeh. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause.
The president is very keen on football and is giving every indication that he's going to push Ghana football to the very highest level. We might just hold on and listen to what the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alvin Baggin, has got to say to the people who have gathered here and those watching us live around the globe. What we need to know about this Democracy Cup.
Definitely.
Right, Honorable Alba Sumana, Sports Baggin. A big round of applause as we hand over to it.
Just loves the cameras, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I saw a picture of him training this morning in the build-up to this game, but not too sure what he intended to do, whether it was going to be a guest player or not.
Yeah, there were reports he pulled a muscle.
Oh, he pulled a muscle.
Of Ghana. My Lord, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Bafu Boni, the Chief of Staff, and other staffers of the Office of the President, Honorable Ministers of State and Members of Parliament, the Clerk to Parliament and staff of Parliament, particularly the soccer team and the Parliamentary Service football team, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Inspector General of Police, the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the Chairperson of the National Commission on Civic Education, our gracious sponsors, relatives and representatives of governance institutions, our beloved legends, the former Black Stars players, our friends and partners from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The much-awaited day is here. The day we have for weeks trained and prepared for. Our training in Parliament commenced with dynamic stretches, light jogging, and mobility exercises to build our muscles and lubricate our joints. After that, we proceeded with skill development, focusing on dribbling, passing, shooting, and ball control. We progressed to tactical training by conducting small-sided games to practice positioning and teamwork. Finally, the unconquerable team from Parliament went through fitness training, blending aerobic and anaerobic exercises, and using interval training to improve stamina and speed. And you all witnessed what happened. We conquered our opponents from the judiciary. We promised that we were going to score 3 goals, and we actually scored 3 goals. On behalf of the leadership, the members of Parliament, and the staff, we congratulate the victorious parliamentary team. Your Excellency, We are here to enjoy the beautiful game of football. And in doing so, we pick up a lesson or two from soccer to enhance our democracy. First, soccer teaches us teamwork and collaboration. Successful teams rely on collaboration, with each player performing a specific role, similar to how democratic systems function, with various branches of government working together. Also, effective communication among players mirrors the need for open dialogue in democratic processes. Secondly, soccer admonishes our democracy to abide by rules of fair play. The game operates under a clear set of rules that ensure fairness, just as democracies must operate with established laws and regulations to maintain order, civility, and protect rights. Your Excellency, adherence to rules in football can't inspire and do inspire respect for the rule of law, a virtue our democracy badly needs. Thirdly, soccer encourages participation from diverse groups. The club owners, sponsors, players, management team, technical team, medical team, supporters, etc. This reflects the democratic principle of inclusivity, leaving nobody behind. Encouraging all stakeholders leads to better decision-making and representation. Fourthly, soccer teaches us accountability in leadership. Coaches and players are held accountable for their performance, similar to how elected officials are accountable to their constituents. Besides, coaches, team captains, and players are called upon to make strategic decisions, sometimes on the spur of the moment and under pressure. This is akin to the challenges faced by political leaders in a democracy, particularly the president of the country. Finally, leaders in the democracy must learn from the game of football how to be adaptable, strategic, and statecraft. Teams must adapt their strategies based on the opponent's game plan. This can be likened to the need for democratic systems to evolve in response to societal dynamics, changes, and challenges. Flexibility, adaptability, and pragmatism in approach can enhance resilience in governance. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here not just to kick these inflated leather globes around. The playing pitch is a lecture theater. The game is a lecture on democracy and governance. And these players who are poised for action are our lecturers. We are now having lecturers today from Accra House of Oaks and Great Olympics. On this note, I have the singular honor to invite the President of the Republic to undertake the official kickoff for the commencement of the match. May the better team win the match. Long live Ghana's democracy. Long live football made in Ghana. Long live the Republic of Ghana. Parliament is the anchor and answer. I thank you all for your listenership.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're grateful to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin,
for the ceremonial kickoff.
And all the dignitaries, after which we'll roll off to the very big kickoff.
So the two teams emerge out of the tunnel. The Phobians in their rainbow colors over purple shorts and red stockings, and Great Olympics in their traditional blue and white jerseys here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. This is a traditional fixture, and on any day, these two teams will give you some good football depicting of a derby meeting.
Exactly, and I think both sets of fans have really missed this fixture because in the last year we've not had any meetings officially between Accra Hearts of Oak and Accra Great Olympics. So definitely we'll enjoy some football here.
Accra Hearts of Oak in time success in terms of silverwares. The most recent one was the Bese Manche Homo Charity Peace Cup, which they won at the expense of Pando Atub Lions. Official exchange of pleasantries with Honorable Abin Babin leading with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Former Ghana Football Association Vice President Fred Papo. He's been in the thick of events in terms of ensuring that there's a successful democracy. Don't forget, he's also a staunch Great Olympics fan. He's been at management and on the board a couple of times.
And that's one aspect that really makes it even more interesting, knowing that even the people at the top levels even have got their own, allegiances and all.
Interesting to see Samuel Kusi, the former King Faisal captain, wearing the armband for Great Olympics in this evening's fixture. He comes with a lot of experience. Tony Buffo, Black Stars legend, takes time to exchange pleasantries with the Speaker of Parliament. So all set, we're good to go here at the University of Ghana Stadium as Olympics and Hearts of Oak squaring it off for the 2025 Democracy Cup. I guess it will be time for us to observe the national anthem of the Republic of Ghana. There's a Great Trophy on your screens now.
Toboy! 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 And now His Excellency the President and the dignitaries would go over and have one big picture with the two clubs.
So the dignitaries and the players will go for an official photo before the start of the game with a big banner with the inscription AGL Democracy Cup 2025.
John Galasa, the two-time strong winner, and Amakwareko, who won the CAF Champions League with Accra Hearts of Oak.
That's quite an iconic moment there, having both sets of teams, or both sets of players from the two teams, and then also officials, the president, the speaker, and then other dignitaries, and having a photo shoot. I think this would hang, perhaps administration officers or administrative, how do I put it, the museums, if they do have one, then I think this photo would definitely leave with both teams for a very, very long time.
President Mahama is getting ready for the official ceremonial kickoff. There we go, His Excellency has done it.
Before he kicked that ball, he pointed to the roof. I was thinking he was going to hit that one very hard, but that was as fair as it could go.
President's son, Sharaf Mahama, he's always been around to support his father, and he's here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium to see who wins the 2025 Democracy Cup. Hearts of Oak lineup: goalkeeper Sharif, Beifi, Mensah, Ali Mohammed, Kelvin Osei-Sibe, Enoch Esubontin, and Opon Frane playing in that midfield with Frank Duku, the new boy, who is gradually warming himself in the hearts of the Phobian fans, leading the attack with Abdul Karim, Martin Kakari, and Mohamed Hussein supporting from midfield. Masoud Didi Dramani gradually becoming the fans' favorite after some exciting performances from the Phobians in recent games. For Great Olympics, they also have a new gaffer, and they'll be hoping he gets them the silverware this time. Our center referee is Theophilus Sechi, assisted by Abraham Pate and Alex Amwabin. Kojola Abiweja is our fourth referee. Atiso, Ejenim, Bochwe, and Kusi, who completes the back four. There's Esio, Dapa, Kobna, Ako, Boache, and Islam Mohammed leading the attack for Great Olympics. Osei Sibe wearing the arms band for the Phobians this evening. His leadership qualities has never been in doubt, and he's stepping in for Black Stars goalkeeper Benjamin Asari, who was away on national duties with the Black Stars in the World Cup qualifier against Chad in N'Djamena yesterday. They never say die until the bones are rotten. And Great Olympics equally get themselves ready for this Gamashi Derby at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
Just can't wait for this game to get started. Just look at the demeanor of both sets of players, and it tells you that they are both ready for this, regardless of, you know, the
Esio, he allows his goalkeeper Do Atiso to come to the rescue. Olympics have a free kick, is quickly taken. Here is Esio. Tries to go through the middle, he goes to his centre back, Bochwe. But Isibe gets it away, Good run from Martin Kakari. Hands of Oak into Olympics territory. Here is Kakari, very skillful. Lays one, Abdul Karim. But he's lost possession. Olympics have it through John Aite. Isibe goes up, and he's won the free kick for the Phobians. A bit of shove on him by the Olympics attacker.
Right call by the referee, and that was just bad intent, you know, from the Olympics attacker over there, not to have contested for that ball.
Osei Sibe. There's a good crossing, but nobody at the end of it for the Phobians. Esio. The Olympics goalkeeper under pressure with a desperate clearance. Duku is lurking, but Olympics will clear their lines. Mensah all the way back to goalkeeper Sharib. Olympics on the move on the right-hand side. Confident play from the Asamoah goalkeeper. Samuel Kusi for Olympics, pushed down right before referee Theophilus Seche. Free kick for Olympics.
Definitely would just have to see this game start with on a combative note between these two sides. We've seen Hearts of Oak player shove an Olympics player before. And that's the kind of rivalry between these two sides. But in Hearts of Oak, they look a bit more fitter with the way they're moving the ball. Due to his, mobile nature, sometimes he finds himself a bit more centrally and then also helping defensively.
They have a present Ghana Supporters Union. Not only do they go to national team matches, but wherever you need them, they will always show up. It's 10 minutes at the University of Ghana Stadium here in Legon. Olympics 0, Hearts 0. Good run from Bayfi Afrani. Now here is Martin Kakari. Takes on his marker. Clever play from Kakari. Tries to find Duku. Too much for Duku to get at the end of it.
A bit too much from Martin Kakari. We've spoken about his confidence, which is gradually beginning, to find him. But that was a good move. Just a little bit overhit from Duku. Was just trying to time his run there. But there was absolutely nothing he could have done. And Great Olympics, they've been very, very, very tidy at the back this evening. They've been so disciplined, allowed Hearts of Oak just fewer touches in the box. And if they should keep it this way throughout the first half, it would be very, very disturbing for Didi Dramani's men.
Here's Solomon Ako. Tries to find Islam, but Ali withers the storm. Here's Islam. Osaisibe with a powerful header out. Abdul Karim can't control well. There's a foul. Mensah brings down Solomon Ako. Free kick, Great Olympics.
Yeah, Solomon Ako is really intriguing. This evening he's been a very, very tough customer for Ransford Mensah to deal with. His movement on and off the ball has really, really created a lot of trouble for Accra Hearts of Oak this evening. And there's a sort of attackers or wingers sometimes you need on your side. Players who can win fouls, make something happen when things are being cagey. But then I think some injury concerns there for Accra Great Olympics.
Olympics have a tall order to deal with. They play in Zone 3 of the National Division 1 League in a zone that has got some former Premier League teams also seeking for Premier League qualification. Oko United is in that zone, don't forget. Recently relegated Accra Lions in that zone as well. Former FA Cup champions Nania FC are also in that zone, but Olympics are confident they might just get a ticket back to Premier League football in the upcoming season.
Qualification to the Premier League always feels like a birthright to every single Olympics fan. I wouldn't begrudge them at all.
And it's not going to come easy. There's true democracy being tipped by many to book their place. Olympics might just be forced to go for an early substitution. It's not looking good.
Responding now, and the coach not really happy now. He might be forced into an early substitution over there. Just 14-15 minutes into this game.
injury force substitution. Sule Adamu would not be happy with this early development. Now let's see what Olympics come up with.
That was a dangerous ball into the box, and you could find the Olympics players with some sort of aggression trying to attack that one. It was pinpoint, from the boot of Ako into the box centrally for them to deal with.
Solomon Ako to take the free kick for Great Olympics. Ben Swanim. Hussein, in a desperate attempt to clear the ball, was unable to do it. Jonah Aite picks out Ivan Janim, but it's a goal kick for the Phobians.
Wasn't a bad attempt from Great Olympics. It's not really been, so smooth from Accra Hearts of Oak. We've seen them in the top 4. We saw them when they played, in the President's Cup. We saw them in the Gamanche or Mocha Peace Cup. It was so smooth. Today it looks a bit untidy. They are struggling to find grip. I don't know if it's due to the length of the grass, but then that's not how you'd always see a Masoud Dili Dramani team play. And today they've really struggled in the first 16 minutes, but then they'll be hoping to get back stronger.
Martin Kakari checks onto his left foot, looking for space, swings in across.
The referee was just within close proximity to spot that over there. Very tight space for Martin Kakari, trying to use his trickery there to go past his marker, Ivan Ajaman. The referee with the right call.
So, confirmation of the have been forced to make the first change of this game. Olympics trying to weave their way into the Azabok 16-yard box. Here is Jonah Aite. Now David Kobna, right-footed cross in. Esubonton gets it away, but Hussein gives it back to Olympics. Here is Samo Dapaeje. Afrani Mensah. 20 minutes, no goals at the University of Ghana. Lovely play from Abdul Karim. Here is Hussein, spots the run of Kakari. Kakari has got Bisu to confront, who just got introduced for Kusi, and the idea was good, but Esubonton was not arriving on time.
Yeah, good idea by Martin Kakari, who had to check onto his favorite left foot. But then again, that cross just landing very close to Do Edu, the Great Olympics goalkeeper. You could see the frustration from Frank Duku, who made the run early on.
SCB searching ball meant for Duku. Duku has been a bit quiet in this opening 21 minutes. He was full of energy and brilliance when Hazebuk played in the top 4 and even in the President's Cup.
Perhaps because he enjoyed that partnership with Hamza Issa, who is actually also a striker, unlike Mohamed Hussein, who is more of a midfielder, so would want to retreat into midfield and allow him to work alone.
It was in the Bese Manchao More Charity Peace Cape that he announced his presence. Otushe was part of the team that played in the President's Cup. His deal was about to be negotiated by the time with Vision FC, but I tell you what, he seemed to have taken over the striking role at Hartlepool. The big question is, where does Hamza Issa fit into this setup?
You rightly said it, perhaps just right behind him or even beside him with that 4-4-2 flat like they're playing today. Hussein has been very, very moved. That's just the right call. Referee very close to the action there. SCB failing to deal with that initial ball, and you could see his hands all around, you know, Islam Mohamed Barry, and it's just held a good call.
Islam Mohamed Barry was brought into the Olympics team just this era under Sule Mohammed to lead the attack. He joined from a team called Untold Story in Isiakwa in the Eastern region. So probably he has an untold story for us to figure out this evening here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium.
That's a metaphor in that one, an untold story perhaps to even tell the Hartlepool fans, but that's quite dangerous for Hartlepool.
Bisiu to take the free kick. Anthony Bisiu. It might just be a left-footed.
You know, with so much displeasure after hitting that one.
Kelvin Osei-Sibe, Abdul Karim joined Hartlepool from Nations FC, having featured for Bechem United in the last couple of seasons before his move to Nations. He only played for Nations for just a season and snapped up by the Phobians. Shaib was trying to pick out Duku, but the Olympics goalkeeper Doa Tiso is not troubled.
The centre-back pairing of Great Olympics, Richard Bucci and then also Ivan Dajiman, they've really done a good job on Frank Duku. He's the central, that arrowhead for Accra Hartlepool, and they know how, swift he is as a striker, his movement of the ball as well. Yeah, that was that foul there on Martin Kakari, and he's really having a good day, Martin Kakari. Perhaps this game would be enough to just convince Muslim Didi Dramani that he is really a good player. I can't remember when he moved from Asekem to Hartlepool a couple of seasons ago, but he's failed to nail a starting spot for himself.
Many saw him as the direct replacement for Salif Ibrahim, who left for Kosovo, but he's never lived up to it. Kakari.
Perhaps this might be his season. There again, you can see another Hartlepool player fouled in this one thing. They are making, entry into the third half, but then it's been gradual for them, not as swift as they wanted to be. A couple of fouls, and a couple of free kicks for them, and already they find themselves in a very, very advantageous position.
Free kick taken by Kakari. Gives away a throw into Olympics. Bayfi racing all the way back. SCB wants to take care of matters, and Afrani gives away possession. Olympics have ideas of attacking, but here comes the Hartlepool keeper. SCB cleverly calms the situation down for the Phobians. finds Hussein. He's gone quiet in the last few minutes, but he's trying to thread that one through for Duku. He was not aware of that idea.
Again, a bit of a late movement from Frank Duku there. Couldn't spot that pass from Hussein on time. That's a fraction late to get onto that one, but Hussein again a bit adventurous there with that pass and nearly finding the striker.
Mensah under pressure, goes to Shaoub. Isio controls well. That kick from Isibe seemed to have left something on the Olympics attacker Islam Mohamed Pari, and referee whistles for Pari to be attended to. It wasn't deliberate for Isibe, very close to that clearance, Islam.
I believe that outstretched foot of Isibe just caught Islam on the tie, and just look at that again.
Of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. What a first 45 minutes. Both sides have showed that yes, indeed, they are at loggerheads. They have showed the intensity in the first 45 minutes. And yes, chances have been created both sides. But Accra Hearts of Oak seem to have the edge based on the sharpness of their men up front. But Olympics has also been wonderful in defense, clearing everything that came their way in the first 45 minutes. It's halftime here at the Accra Sports Stadium, and Blackgate and Nanedu have joined me. Blackgate, first 45 minutes, did it go the way you expected?
Absolutely, because I told you I was expecting an end-to-end stuff here. For Hearts of Oak, they tried to play their normal games in the faces of Great Olympics. But Great Olympics pick a clue from watching Hearts of Oak played against Kumasi Asante Kotoko in the last game of the GACA Top 4 competition. And what the Olympics did, that worked to perfection for Kosula Adamu's team, was not to allow Hearts of Oak to play their normal game in central midfield. He loaded the midfield. He started the game with a 3-5-2 formation. Yeah. He never changed his tactics. He choked the midfield and made sure that they've overcrowded the midfield. If you look at if you look at what Great Olympics did, they tried to play through their top marksman in Islam Mohamed. He basically gave Kevin Ose-Asibe and then Ali Mohamed a tough game in that first 45 minutes. But for Hearts of Oak, if they are to break down this stubborn Great Olympics team, then they will have to do something extraordinary to be able to carve them open at premium.
I see. Okay. First 45 minutes has gone. Nanedu, you predicted a slim or a slender lead for Accra Great Olympics, but I'm sure you've been impressed with what you've seen so far from Olympics.
I think Olympics is doing well. You know, I predicted a first half win for Olympics, but I think they've done their best, especially through the right side of their team, the right back. They are working hard, trying to throw men more forward for the Olympics team. When you look at the House of Folk team, they want to play the ball through the middle. That is why Olympics team has overcrowded that place. So it's making things difficult for House of Folk to handle Olympics in that middle. And that is one thing that is working for them. Frank Duku is not getting that supply that he needs from the midfield because of the way Olympics is operating in the midfield. I think in the second half, he should throw more wingers into the game. Try to cross the ball into the 18-yard box. That is where you can get the strength out from players like Frank Duku. So far, I'm impressed with what I've been seeing from Olympics. For you to hold on to House of Folk in the first 45 minutes, I'm happy for them.
Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of fans here. Right behind us, we see Nat Brew also getting ready to perform for the fans out here. But second 45 is coming up. What will be the expectation? Are you expecting any significant change in the build-up of Accra Hearts of Oak?
Absolutely. In terms of their approach, they started in a 4-4-2 formation. They have Hamza Issa on the bench, and if Hamza Issa is supposed to come onto the pitch, then it will add an extra bite for Hearts of Oak in terms of what they would do. But the most important thing is in that first 45 minutes, Olympics were able to deal with whatever Hearts of Oak has thrown to them, and Frank Duku has been left redundant. It was only Martin Kakari that was the most exciting player for the Phobians in them. For Godidi Dramani, he would need to take off one of his wingers and try to play a typical 4-3-3 formation to be able to have Hamza, Issa partner, Frank Duku on top, because whatever they've done in that first half, Olympics had perfect answers to that.
All right, like I told you earlier on, it's fun and excitement behind us. You can see the dancers from Nat Bruce camp. So what we're going to do is that we don't want to leave you viewers out of the fun. We will switch over to what's happening on the field of play. Let's take a look at the legend himself as he performs.
Phobians with the first throwing of the evening here in the second half. For Olympics coach Sule Adamu, it will be a major statement following his appointment as Olympic coach from Oko United last season if he wins this Democracy Cup. Amankwa Befi, that was a rash challenge on the Olympics midfielder.
Yeah, and that was on Christian Dapa and Amankwa Befi.
Butcher's delivery. Flicked on by Boache. But Mensah, that's a poor touch from Mensah. Good play from Solomon Ako down the right side. Here is Islam, back to Ako. Islam gives the ball away. The former Dambot player seems to have risen to the point where he's made the Azabuk left back position a no-go area for any of the charges in the setup.
Yeah, and I think he also won the hearts of, the hearts of faithfuls with those good whips, as far as dead ball situations are concerned. He's quite an expert with free kicks.
Here is Botre, nearly got himself into trouble. Now Ali, he was fouled by the former Intala's captain Boache.
Mohamed Ali knew he was just going to win that ball, and Boache a bit, aggressive there. That arm shown extended towards the face of Mohamed Ali. And Great Olympics, I believe they just start with this second half with renewed energy. Just too close to the goalkeeper, Edu.
Duku on the run. Good defending from Bochwe. Bochwe was with the Olympics team last season who failed to book their Premier League ticket. Here is Duku up against Bochwe, and Atiso is up for it.
Clever defended by Great Olympics. Richard Bochwe putting his body on the line, obstructed from Duku from making that clear run to get onto the end of that ball. They've been smart with their defending.
Kakari, he's been lively in the opening stages of the second half. He tries to squeeze one through those legs in the Olympics backline. Now, Islam. On the right side, he picks up Solomon Ako, who switches delightfully to the left-hand side. Jonah Aite, Boache, Kobna. It's a good ball on the right side. And Ako is stopped in his tracks by Mensah. Now Abdul Karim. They can break away from the middle now. Kakari up against Siu. Afrani, former Kim Faizo midfielder, second season with the Phobians. He's been troubled by injuries. Hopefully he gets an injury-free season to prove his worth in this setup. Kakari to Afrani. Kiss the ball away. Osei Sibe. Composure and confidence at his best. Not the best of passes from Abdul Karim as BCU will not allow Amanko Abefi to take advantage. Clever play from Great Olympics. This is delightful to watch. There's Aite. Now Boache up against Esibe. Good tackle, but Esibe over elaborates and gives the ball away.
For a second, he thought he was going to get himself a free kick there. And two players on the turf. Currently, they're really lively. Accra had to work through Martin Kakari in the first 7 minutes of the second half. Still not shown any sort of conviction in the final third.
Another free kick for Great Olympics. This time it claims innocence, but Olympics would like to take advantage of it.
And that's the incident again. Esibe for a second had his hands around Jonah Aite, pulling him to the ground.
Samuel Boache, the former Inter-Allies player, to take the free kick. He wanted by some Premier League team, but decided to opt for Great Olympics. Olympics a free kick. Mane Ismontin uses his space to advantage. Here is the former Wafa speedster. Swings one to right, is aiming at Kakari, and Kakari nearly lost it to Boache. He does want to keep the ball. Good play from Kakari, but the final match just can't go through. Here in Mensah, he can shoot from his angle. He shoots and is gone disappointingly out for a goal kick.
Chances are going again for Accra Harbour. They are creating all the chances. Martin Kakari has been in the thick of affairs, but this time Ransford Mensah right at the edge of the box. It's still that one, and with ability to hit those balls, from dead ball situation, he should just be directing this one target, and Atiso not put to work on that occasion. And you need to direct the balls on Atiso. You need to make feel your presence, and it's what has failed to do. Just one shot on target in the second half, and it came through Kakari.
Here is Islam to Ako. Promising move from Great Olympics. Cross I'm seeing. Boache is lurking. Controls the ball. He's got bare feet behind him. Rachel for nimble footers. Swings one. No problems for Shoaib.
And everyone went missing for a second in the box for Great Olympics.
BCU beginning to find an antidote to the tricks of Kakari. Jenim nearly giving the ball away, but he shows his strength and intelligence. Lovely day from Great Olympics.
Yeah, confidence is skyrocketing now in Great Olympics. because it looks level now, but then that was that incident again. Ivan Ajiman just doing it all on his own. 3 Hearts of Oak players and just manages to stay composed.
Akko. Here Christian Dapa. Now Bissiu. He plays Samuel Kusi and it's not giving a bad account of himself. The drive from Samuel Boade blocked by the eventual offside against Islam Mohammed Bari.
He's enjoying that physical contest. Islam, he's come up a couple of times against SCB and then also Ali Mohammed. Really enjoyed it. First time from an offside position trying to heckle the defender.
Hearts of Oak coming up with 2 substitutions. Double switch for the Phobians upon Afrane. So Kwesi Asma comes in for Mohamed Hussein, and upon Afrane's place is taken by the enterprising George Paku. Paku joined from Accra Lions and it's been a delight to watch since his arrival. He's played a pivotal role for the Phobians in recent successes. Isibe gives the ball away. Here is Islam. But Asma, hurriedly called up to duty. Ali. Amankwabef's ability to play as a utility, his dexterity and his understanding of the game is something that Didi Dramani will count on going into the new season.
He's a coach who loves, the dynamism of the game. He's quite malleable with the setup all the time.
Here is Bayfi trying to thread one for Kakari. Now Bayfi. Asma. Kelvin Isibe. His only problem has been over-elaborating and sometimes indecision on his part. But beyond that, he's an exceptional player on any day.
Yes, Kelvin Isibe. Remember that crunch game when they visited Kumasi Santi Kotoko last season, and he was by far the best player until he put a foot wrong in the dynamism of that game, and that has been his weakness as a player. But then that earlier incident there between Ivan Ajiman and then also Duku just colliding. Let's talk about Paco, who just came on. He was such a delight to watch in that game against Heart of Lions a couple of weeks ago, and you can only imagine how he's going to, bond with someone like Martin Kakari.
Here's Esubontin's cross. Bayfi arrives, but he can't go for the first time effort, and decision goes in favor of Great Olympics, and Bayfi stays down. Yeah. Here's the Kotoko diehard fan, a member of the Kotoko Communications team, Nidaku, at the stadium to root for Great Olympics.
He's signaling a yellow card to be shown to Bayfi, for simulation there, but that was that earlier incident here, not enough of it, for a penalty, but then Bayfi left in some pain there after colliding with the defender Ivan Ajiman. And you talk about how, versatile he is as a player, sometimes playing as a wing back, sometimes playing as a right back, sometimes playing as a right winger, and that's the sort of dynamism he's added to his game. And we've also spoken about Didi Dramani and his system, playing as with a 3-back system in one game. The next game he introduces the 4-back. The next time is the 4-4-2, the 4-2-3-1. And these players are buying into the concept, and it's even making it easier for him to change as, you know, and when he wants to, making it so easy for him.
Minutes under the lights at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in Legon. Olympics and Hearts yet to score. Bisiu at Bayfi, good ball to Paco. The former Accra Lions midfielder just can't keep the ball in.
He doesn't look sharp, Paco. Trying to warm himself into the game. We saw how both teams struggled in the first 30 minutes trying to find grip until they were able to massage very well, you know, the turf and just find the right rhythm. And he just needs to do extra sprints, extra work, just to be at the same level with his teammates.
Free kick, foul committed by Christian Dapa, who joined from Tudu Mighty Jets before the start of the season. These days, Mighty Jets are languishing in the second division. Islam.
Doing a very good job at the back, Hearts of Oak. They've had a chunk of possession, but then they've also kept an eye on the fast breaks by Great Olympics, especially with Islam leading the lines for them. Really done a good job as Sibe and also Muhammad Ali.
Sibe. Here is Asma. Hazlewood has seen a lot of the balls, but nothing productive yet. That's a very cynical challenge on Paco by the Great Olympics midfielder David Kobna.
Yeah, quite clumsy, very dangerous there from Paco. Just look at that, a little bit late slid in the turf before just making contact with Paco.
Effort. Poor effort from Asma. Former Hearts of Oak midfielder Benjamin Afutu watching from the stands, and coincidentally the last time Hearts of Oak beat Olympics, Afutu scored in that game.
Core part of that team that won the league, but then that was just disappointing from Kwesi Asma.
Now Olympics will have their turn to make some changes. Solomon Ako. He's had a very decent game on the right wing. Joined Olympics from Zelina Africa just this season. So David Sewonu replaces Jonah Ayite. And Solomon Aku also makes way.
Great Olympics player on the turf currently. Looks like a slow.
Caleb Amankwa, former Hartsabok defender. He also played for Aduana before in the top flight, part of that West African Football Academy generation that included the likes of Majida Shimeru, Gideon Waja, Mohamed Al Hassan, Razaka Balora, and the likes. Amankwa was actually their junior, but he rose through the ranks and got transferred later on. Kobna's delivery. Asma. It's a good ball, but BCU trying to win the ball off Kakari, whose work rate has been very impressive in the second half. Too much on that ball for Abdul Karim. Now Olympics on the move. Here is Inti. He's up against Ali Mohammed. Inti to Sewonu. Sewonu's drive headed down by Esibe. Great reading of the game by the right back Augustus Esio.
It's just what you need sometimes to stop danger when it's just, you know, looming large, and that's what he just did over there. Hearts of Oak would need to be very, very careful. They are yet to score in the game, and they are throwing more men forward in an attempt to get the first goal, and that's leaving spaces behind for Great Olympics to attack. And they've also been very, very quick with the breakaways.
Karim was not watching, but Esibe should have been precise enough. Now Emmanuel Amankwa, he's got Kakari on his right. He finds Kakari, he goes past BCU. Look, for the Phobians on the 70th-minute mark of the game. Hartzaboka up by 1-0 in the 2025 Democracy Cup. They've been the dominant of the two sides in terms of possession in the second half, and they rightly deserve to be on top at this point in the game. Hartzaboka 1, Olympics 0.
Rightly deserved for the Phobians, but then that error and that blood will be there on the hands of Atiso, though, who just allowed that one to sneak past his fingers into the post, but then take nothing away from Hearts of Oak. They've been the most brilliant side. They've been the best side in the second half, or even the entirety of the game. But then Kakari has been brilliant. Just look at that. Selflessly lays down that one into the box, and then Paku recovers again. But then at this point, it was
Boache, Sewonu beaten to it by Amankwa. Here is Abdul Karim. Now Henry Boateng, Hamza Isa, the lead striker for the Phobians under coach Watara last season, yet to hit his form in the preseason games the Phobians have played so far. Amankwa's throwing. Esubontin tries a spectacular, but it's gone wrong for a goal kick to Olympics.
Wouldn't have allowed that one to beat him for the second time in this game, but then Hearts of Oak, they are trying to stretch the back line of Great Olympics. They are not using the channel often. They are playing balls to their wingers, making the fullbacks run. They're growing tired now, and it looks likely they could even get a second with the way they are pressing very, very hard.
Now Olympics will equally come up with substitutions of their own as Didi Dramani throws more men in. to consolidate their lead. Olympics will do the catch-up as they trail the Phobians. Al Hassan, he's lost possession. Should have been Muhammad Ali. Now, with some 14 more minutes to play, the big question is, can Olympics find the equalizer, or Didi Dramani will win another silverware for the Phobians?
It looks likely now with the Phobians with a 1-0 lead now. They've been in firm control of this game. They've dominated every single quarter. You know, they've been so good. And with Great Olympics, if they would really want to get a win over their city rivals, they would really need to dig deep as well.
Good run, Olympics. Now BC was doing the chase, and someone who wants to get on shows great strength and desire. That's what to hang on to possession. Good touch from Paco, but the referee whistles for the initial foul on BCU.
Yeah, that was a bit late from the referee. And BCU
players, but he just fell down. Wanted the referee's whistle for a foul. Olympics bench reacts, thinking it should have been to the advantage.
Yeah, that's what they are thinking, but I think I'll go with the referee's decision there. But another, simulation there. He's just fortunate not to have gone into the books of the rest. It's getting more hostile and even more combative between these two sides.
This should be a yellow card. Augustus Essio, needless, reckless on the part of Essio on the young chap.
Yeah, and it was the first touch to just move away, from the player Henry Boateng, with a lovely first touch, and it makes the work so easy for him, and Essio would just have to, just pull him back to deny him any chance of creating another big scoring opportunity for Hearts of Oak.
'83 minutes. Hearts leading Olympics 1-0. Mensah all the way back to Shoaib. Esibe, Amankwa, Boche gives it away to Paku. Esubontin, he's been moving from the right wing to the left wing, and he's been very lively throughout the game this evening.
He's been tired as well. He's not showing any signs of tiredness at all. He's worked so hard, attacking and defending, helping his fullbacks as well with their defensive duties, and that's what you expect from your players. Sometimes during preseason, you just want to see that full fitness, and you can count on them when the tougher season starts, and Esubontin is just giving that to his head coach.
It's getting a bit physical between Asma and Essio.
Asma believes that the last touch had come off Essio, and I think that should have been a corner. You can see both of them just sliding into the advertising board.
Paku. Esubontin. Here is Asma, the goal scorer. The idea was good, but the delivery not good enough.
The players getting tired, and you just can't believe that this, you know, as a preseason competitive friendly game between these two sides, especially when the players, you know, start showing signs of tiredness. We just spoke about Esubontin showing no signs of tiredness, but then other players really showing it. And if you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you just be looking at this team and you be thinking, is this a team that can challenge for the league title? Is this a team that can get us our first league title since Samuel Boyd won it for us in 2021? And I believe perhaps the signs are clear for you to see, you know, from the President's Cup, you know, to the Homo Charity Peace Cup, to the top four where they were flawless, they were impeccable in their games, you know, and then to this game, the signs are clear. If you're a Hearts of Oak fan, you just could cross your fingers and just hope that, you know, these players will stay fit throughout the season, because the signs are so bright. For Great Olympics, they've not also been bad. They've given a good account of themselves, but then I think in Zone 3 in Division 1, the night's always tough over there. You have Accra Lions, you have Nanya, you have Golden Cake. You can mention the teams. It goes on and on.
Golden Cake were finalists in the FA Cup.
Exactly, and that's why losing their head coach, there's a new man at the helm. They beefed up the squad, and it always gets tougher every season.
Went to the final 3 minutes. Olympics trail the. Lovely skill from David Kobna, but Hearts of Oak could take over possession. That's Henry Kwaku-Boateng, the 17-year-old. The Phobians are hopeful that he's going to light up the Premier League when the season begins.
Didi is just not happy with that decision from Harry. He thought he could have done better, at least, you know, trying to wind down the clock. You just make the right decisions. You just don't go reckless, and that's what he just did over there.
It's a time in the game where game management will be very crucial for Hearts of Oak. With some 2 more minutes to wrap up, Didi will be hoping they don't drop their guard.
Yeah, of course, especially if these players watch the Black Stars play yesterday against Chad. There's quite a lot of lessons to learn from that. You never lower your guard. You never, you know, lose concentration at this time. There's a time you need to show that mental fortitude. You need to prove that you are focused throughout the game, and we've seen Hearts drop points in the league through things like this.
Boche, a clearance that came under pressure from Esubontin. Esibe Amankwa. Esubontin was always in that offside trap.
Yeah, but then, you know, the decision to go for it will pay off. At least he's wasted about 10-15 seconds over there trying to just win that ball when he knows definitely that he's in an offside position. That's what you do. It's part of it. Sometimes you just need to wind down the clock, and that's what Esubontin did there.
Been the equalizer for Great Olympics.
A good ball, perfectly whacked into the box. The finishing, the only thing letting them down, but it is crossed into the box, and no one at all around Sewon, allowing him freedom and space to just leap and get his head on that one.
Esibe. 17-year-old goes down from the charge of Augustus Esio.
Yeah, more like wrestling the rugby challenge by Esio, just shrugging him down. He's been lively, Henry Boate.
Atisa will be looking back at that goal and will be thinking, could I have done Mohamed Yusuf Mouni? He manages to win a throw-in for Olympics. We're in the final seconds of this game. Hatzabok seconds away from clinching their second silverware in pre-season. Shaib is out to meet the delivery from Bisiu, and this should be it.
Yeah, at this point, if you're the Great Olympics fan, if you're in the technical dugout, then it is just done and dusted for you. They fought gallantly, but then Hatzabok has so much quality now. It's undeniable.
They have a free kick. Last year when Kotoko beat them by 2-1, Kotoko had the opportunity to represent Ghana in the United States, in Washington, D.C. If it ends his way, Didi Dramani and his players will be on that flight to the United States.
So it's not just the silverware at stake. It's not just the pride at stake. It's just shutting up their noisy neighbors, city rivals at stake. But then it's also about representing the country in the United States in the Capital Cup next year, which is quite huge.
Mensah's cross flicked away by Ejenim. Chance for a second for the Phobians. Hamza looking for space, and Asma's effort goes on to the tartan tracks and is a goal kick.
Yeah, and it's still Ghazali on the touchline, and he's been taken to the media. He can barely sit. The fact that they're one up.
It's over. Victory at the Legon University of Ghana Sports for the Phobians. Lucky. In the first edition, they lost to their bitter rivals, and in the second edition, they beaten their city rivals by a lone goal courtesy substitute Kwesi Asma. Second silverware for Didi Dramani ahead of the new season. It's over here at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium in the 2025 Democrats Cup. And all hail the Phobians. Full time. Hatzabok 1. Great Olympics 0.
It's all over here. Congratulations to Accra Hearts of Oak. They are walking away with the 2025 Cup. And it's been a very good day at the office today. Look at the crowd. It's been a massive outing here today. But obviously, this Democracy Cup has to go to a winner.
and we say congratulations to Accra Hearts of Oak. I've been joined by Coach Sule of Accra Great Olympics. Coach, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. First of all, despite the fact that you were on the losing side, I think that a big congratulations should go to you. How have you managed to put together such a team as you get ready for the season?
Okay, I think as we just said earlier on, it's a preparation that we had, which is the pre-season, which we are preparing towards the main league, which is the ultimate. I'm trying my possible best to make sure that I qualify Olympics back to the Premier. So the ultimate is to make sure that maybe we win this democracy, but it's not unfortunate that we lost it. So we have to go back and make sure that this is our first week of pre-season. So we need to go back and make sure that we work on our pre-season, and then we take it from there.
All right, this is one of the first competitive games that you've played during your pre-season. You've had time to put the team together. This is a blend of the old and some of the players who have also had a taste at the top level before. How easy or difficult was it to blend this team to get such a performance today?
You know, it's very tough for me as a coach, especially when it comes to our players' mentality. So I try my possible best to make sure that I switch their mentality to my system.
Yeah.
So I think that is exactly what they are doing, and they are really improving. Every session you see, there's an improvement.
Which means that there's a lot to look forward to when the season begins.
Exactly, because the Zone 3 is same like playing in the Premier.
Exactly.
So we are trying to make sure that we get the right materials, that we understand the system, that we understand the information, that we understand the tactics as well. So we are on course.
Okay. What message will you give to the many Olympic fans out there? What should they look out for this season?
Yes, we're still trying to put a very solid team for them. We really appreciate their time. We admire them with their support and everything. They should still come in their numbers and come and support. We still need them around us so that at least they can push the team back to Premier. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Congratulations. You did a yeoman's job there. That was the head coach of Accra Great Olympics. And we'll also find out from the winning coach what the mentality was like going into the match itself. But obviously, it has been a match that most people have enjoyed here, and especially the Accra Hearts of Oak fans, because it gives them a fair idea of what to expect going into the season. Coach Didi, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time. This is one match I saw you from a distance, and you were sitting at the edge of your seat. Sometimes it looks like things were not going
to observe from a very fair point of view, to appreciate what your players are doing. Remember, the Olympics team came with a very low block, and so you need a lot of patience, you need a lot of belief in what you are doing to control the spaces. And so it is something when I get up, it's just to re-emphasize on what we had agreed to do in terms of the spaces that were available, and then where there's no space, how we need to be more calm and be more patient, and then keep moving the ball and then moving the opponent, and then surely you will surely find the spaces.
I see. Okay, most of the fans here are happy that Accra Hearts of Oak won. I'll take your view. Is the contentment in the fact that you won, or the contentment is in the fact that your team played well?
Oh, I think winning is good, but I think that on a very fair point is to also think about how we want to progress in terms of improving the small parts of the game, so that we can develop, our game model, and also develop our philosophy and then the culture that we're trying to institute. And so for me, winning is good, but I think that the anger to compete is more paramount, and also the zeal to try to execute what you have believed in and what you trust to do is more important.
I see. Okay. Now moving forward, let me wrap up with you quickly. Moving forward, will this put paid to your total pre-season, or there's still a few more screws to tighten up?
There's always moment to improve, and I think that I personally want to improve, and I want my players to also improve. I've said it time and again that systems, formations, and tactics sometimes don't win games, but the decisions players make on the pitch of full of play, and then the problems they are able to solve. All that we need to continue to do is to continue to give them the type of solutions and to give them the plans in order to be able to solve these problems. We don't solve problems on the pitch. We can only suggest, but they have to execute the planning. And so I think that it's good we win, but there's still more to improve, and then we are very open to improve.
All right. Coach, thank you very much. Congratulations. The team has put up a splendid performance. The fans are happy, and I'm sure that there's a lot more excitement in the stands.
Absolutely.
Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Phobia. Thanks for coming.
There you go. So head coach Didi Dramani of Accra Hearts of Oak sending the signs that yes, all seem to be well with the team and it can only get better. I've been joined by the clerk of Parliament because they are the main reason why we are here anyway, and so we also have to hear from them. Clerk of Parliament, Mr. Jitro, I believe. Thank you very much for joining us. How have you encompassed the atmosphere? How has it been like for you today?
Oh,